Here's my ES market recap for March 22nd. All right, well, today is a Fed day, and it was wild, so I was not able to stay in alignment and see everything in context to where I could operate. Everything was moving too fast, so I just had some other things that I was working on while I was observing it. And as you can see here, we had today had a variety of things. There's crude oil. There's all these smaller events, and there's the big one right there, the FOMC press conference, interest rate decision, economic projections, all of that stuff around 11 to 11:30, and it was just wild after that, basically up until the close. So sometimes you have a situation like that. There's all this news. It's just 7:30. And then around 11, you have to pretty much be done by 11 because it's just too wild. Everything's moving too fast unless you're really, really good and you can handle a little bit more outsized risk. It's probably better just to stay out of it. Make sure you get everything done that you could this morning. I didn't happen to see a good entry for myself with my typical setup, so I just did not do any trades today at all. Just with this kind of volatility, it was too difficult. Let's try to look at this higher time frame. Where did we open up today? So we look at that, there's 630. Where do we open? 40, 35, 75. Yep, 40, 35, 75. So we opened high in range due to the volatility. It's like, who the hell knows what's going on. Okay, so we ended up with something kind of looking like that, higher in range. I could probably turn this into 5-minute candles and it would look a little bit more like in this chart. Yeah, see now we have something looking a little bit more like that. Or like that. Oh, we didn't have a gap up though. Yeah, we didn't have a higher gap up, so. What are we looking at? The market opens higher in range. The gap is closed 73% of the time, which we don't have a gap here. I don't see a gap. There's Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't see any gap going on. NVPOC is broken 66% of the time. So where's that NVPOC? 40, 11, 75. Okay, there was yesterday's. So it took that out. It took that out right here around what is that? 1210 Pacific. Went ahead, took that out. It took out these two other NVPOCs also, 9450 and at 83. It just dropped like a rock, and then kind of ended around this 70 area. So we hit three different NVPOCs. So what could that say for tomorrow? Who could be on the hook? I wonder who could be on the hook tomorrow. Could it be the shorts? You know, could it possibly be the shorts? We'll see. What do we have tomorrow? Yeah, we have building permits, we have jobless claims, current account, new home sales. What else do we? Oh, we have these jobless claims, new home sales. See what that's about. Bank of England. That's not concerned with that really. But we have those two events. We kind of get the idea. Look at where we are today, 70. So we're testing around all this stuff. You know, and we went down past 80 also. So that's just a huge dip. Took out this gap that these other 2 days created. Went back into this territory where this volume is at. You see, that's almost something where I could take my drawing tool here, you know, and go from here that's something I could go from here over to, I'll call it like right here. Take all this crap off here with these stupid lines. Turn this into a hologram so it's not looking all weird. Make this a different color here. Okay, that magenta line. So I took all of this right here, made a McVPOC. No, not a micro composite. You see where it's going? It's going from the 10th to the 20th, before where that gap was. So there's 39.48 that could be going down. That could be a point where it could test down there. And then we still had these targets going up. Let's see, what else did we have going up? Yeah, 41.44, 41.63.50. That's a ways up there. What do we have here? We have, look at that, that's, okay, I see that orange line, 87.25, could be going up. See, that one was broken, 41. You know, 41.10.75, that was broken. So let's turn this into a daily. Yeah, so what are we looking at for dailies? So there we are today. Previous week's low of 38.39. We have this whole deal, this was already broken. That's around 38.80. For that one we have 40.24 for this micro composite. 40.25 and 38.80. And 39, yeah, 39.50. We've already been messing around with that level. That could be another place on the way down. We're at 39.80 right now. But anyway, let's go look in Bookmap. What happened? Okay, so we had kind of this type of a deal going on, higher in range. So now here's what happened in the morning. So this is around 6:11. Where's opening bell? Yeah, so we're right here around the opening. So there were a few decent trades, you know, if you could get on them. Right here, you know, it's testing this structure. It tested this VHVN 4031. These retail stops were taken out. And you could, that's a nice trade right there. If you can see that, okay, price check, that's still a discount. We're going to buy it. There's a mid and VWAP testing right above this structure at 40.31.50. That might be a place where you get out. 40.39.50. You know, you see two of these. Sell absorption into this high liquidity. We know that around here, that's another area it can turn around at. We see a big stop run here. Look at this stop divergence: 1263, 118, 25, 37. We have this cloud of high liquidity on top. Kind of touches it, tests the bottom of that, go back down into where the retail stops are, and back to retail price. And this kind of appears like, hey, that's another one. You took out the retail stops. you have this support on top of this structure right here, the VPOC. You could go up here, look, 35 to 39. It's not much. It's not a great trade. It's scalpy. You could be like, you know, here's 40. But this thing does not want to go above 40. Look, touches 1, 2, 3, 4. Touches it, nearly touches it 4 times. Where's the buyers here? And you know, but then you have this point of control in the way. Not such a great trade either. I mean, you can scalp it, it just depends. Then there's all this going here. There's a oh dang it! It did something with my my custom notes on here, so I can't see where I was at with the initial balance, low and high. Okay, let me draw them right here. Okay, so we had that for the low, and then that's somewhere right around thereabouts. So look at those lines. I don't know what happened with my IRT levels, why they're not on there. Got to goof around with that later, but just for this video, okay, initial balance low, initial balance high. Easy enough to look at here. So what do we have? We have this not coming down to the initial balance. There's a stop divergence, so, but then there's not much range. Look at that IBL VPOC. Look at that 29 to 30. You know, and I saw this at some point during the day, and I was just going, you know, this just does not, considering it's 10:41 and we have all the FOMC stuff at 11, I was just like, you know, maybe today is just where I watch and learn, and I don't trade. Because you see what happened with the order book here. Look at how all the liquidity just cleared out, and it was right around 10:55. People knew this was going to go completely nuts. You know, look at the entire rest of the day from 10:55 down to 1400 Pacific. They were starting to get a little more volume going on down here. But look at this big gap. Could be going, you know, here's initial balance low. You know, what's it showing us? This right here is kind of showing us, hey, it's kind of looking like it's headed down. But the thing is just so volatile that harder for retail traders to get in there, participate in this. The order book's not telling you all that much. I mean, came back up, bunch of retail stops, and there's an IBF set up right there. You got an IBC right here, got an IBF right here, got another IBF right here, another IBF. Well, I don't know if you can really qualify that, because look at where the VPOC is, but or this one, I don't know if that makes a good, IBF. I was looking at it. I didn't want to do it. This could have made a decent IBF, but it was very fast. It was very fast. It was hard to handle. Got that liquidity coming on, lit on a pot, and then it comes back down to VPOC. But look at that, 46 down to 30. So that's a decent, perfectly valid. Look at that, 47 down to 38. You know, you could just go from here to here. That's a decent IBF setup. You know, retail stops are there. That's a secondary target. You're running more than a 2 lot. Some people would do this setup. Look here, we go back to, we know retail stops are there. Sell liquidity. Sell absorption. I don't see much going on with liquidity there. Here's an IBC setup. 29.25 going down. We got this ask liquidity right here. We've got sell absorption, and it's going down. And we did have those targets. We had 49.50. That could be one of your targets for the IBC going down. You could see this absorption going on right here. So if you're doing IBC, you could go down here. Be like, okay, this stuff is all activating right in this cluster here, and be done. And where is that? You're at 28.50. Yeah, 28.50 down to oh, what do you say? We'll call that like 12 to 6. That's a nice trade. It's a very nice trade. You have lower targets. You have 94.50. You have those NVPOCs got broken. 94.50. You've got 83. If you remember those numbers I was looking at on the higher time frame. So you had those two NVPOCs, you know, right around here. 94.50, boom, just slam dunk right through there. Went all the way down to here. We could kind of see it's, well, that's end of day, you know, and it was roughly, was that 67.50 at close? Zoom in here, see what the close was. Yeah, looks like 68.50 at the close. And you're kind of roughly in that 70 range at the end of it. Only target I could see was, you know, hitting that 83, but if you had done an IBC and you're going, okay, let's look at these NVPOCs. So if you can go 40.28-ish down to, let's say 94.50, that is one hell of a trade. That would be, you just paid your mortgage right there, even with a 2 lot. That would be an amazing trade, but it was just so wild. It was just so wild all over the place. I was looking for entries. I was just like, man, this is crazy. Like, it was moving so fast I couldn't do it. You know, somebody with much more experience that can see this stuff coming faster than I did, you know, could get in on it. But I mean, in my particular case, it's just too volatile. These swings are just all over the place, and I can't recognize it in time to execute. Everything just happened just blazingly fast. So you have to have quick reflexes and know exactly where your setups are, when to trigger on them just instantly. You have a fraction of a second under these conditions to execute. Now you have to see it coming, or else it's already gone. You blink and it's gone. So we kind of covered everything, what was going on the higher time frame. What are we looking at for tomorrow? Well, there's that 48.25 from this little McVPOC, not McVPOC, micro composite that I made. Look, 48.25. Look, yeah, I've got 48.25 right here. So that's that. And we've got 38.93 further down there. And well, I'll leave it at that. This has been a long enough video, but I think that's a good overview of what I'm looking at. I can review this later, and we'll see what happens the rest of the week. In general, I guess there's a lot of traders, they just figure, it's FOMC day, this is nuts. It's usually pretty nuts on those days, so just too volatile. Is it worth taking that kind of excessive risk to your account? Maybe for some people it is. They have a plan. They know how to execute it in that environment. Kudos to them. I don't have it yet. You don't necessarily have to. There's 8 FOMC days. You can just figure, okay, that's a day I'm just going to observe and not engage until I really recognize something where I can go in, maybe make a few $100, be out of there fast, and just grab what I can real quick. And each day is unique, so just in general, it's going to be pretty nuts. But okay, I'm going to end this video. Have a good night, everyone.